Welcome to the UFO Show. In this installment, we hear the Pentagon confirm yet more startling UFO sightings. We learn about a group of scientists who are putting pressure on the government to release all of their secrets on flying objects. And we hear a famous physicist warn us about the potential dangers of contacting an alien civilization. Who would have thought we'd ever get to a place where the US government is regularly confirming UFO sightings? Aren't they supposed to be all hush-hush about those things? Don't we need the Fox Mulders of the world to uncover their unbelievable secrets? However unlikely it may be, the Pentagon has gotten into the habit of declassifying some pretty extraordinary things. And they're only just getting started. The latest example is splendidly eerie footage of pyramid-shaped objects flying above a US Navy destroyer, the USS Russell, off the coast of California. The flashing aircrafts appear to hover in the air while someone pans to capture them all. Sadly, the video is only 18 seconds long, but it's an engaging 18 seconds to be sure. The footage was leaked to US filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, who made the documentary Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers, about the man who blew the whistle on Area 51, the infamous government site which allegedly housed the crash remnants of a UFO. Corbell, in a statement in the US Sun, said, "These are authentic photos and video from actual military encounters with UFOs, generated to educate high-level intelligence officers within our military on the nature and presentation of the UFO UAP phenomenon." But don't just take his word for it. A spokesperson for the Pentagon in a statement responded, "I can confirm that the reference photos and videos were taken by Navy personnel. The UAPTF has included these incidents in their ongoing examinations." In case you're in the dark, the UAPTF stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, which was established in 2020 by the US Department of Defense to study all these pesky flying objects that seem to be coming round our parts more and more. In addition to the footage from the USS Russell, Corbell unveiled a series of photos taken by pilots from the USS Omaha, another Navy warship. In the pics, apparently taken by a fighter pilot's phone, a strange spherical craft is seen flying in the sky, moments before it descended into the ocean. Stranger still, Corbell notes that the spherical craft could not be found under the water, even though a submarine was dispatched to search for the thing. These photos were also confirmed by the Pentagon as legit. And that ain't all. The US military had at least one other bizarre encounter with UAPs in the summer of 2019, when 4 Navy warships were swarmed by a batch of quote-unquote drones over the course of several days. The incidents, which were confirmed by Admiral Michael Gilday and also occurred off the coast of California, involved as many as 6 so-called drones following Navy vessels and performing advanced and unusual maneuvers in the sky. The USS Kidd attempted contacting or communicating with the aircrafts, but such efforts were unsuccessful. 2 other nearby ships also reported seeing these objects, but not one of them could be identified, and they acted quite unlike any commercially available drones. While they confirm they're still investigating the bizarre incidents, the Navy wouldn't go so far as to call them UAPs or UFOs, sticking with the drone label for now. Those findings have been collected and are still being analyzed, Admiral Gilday said recently, 2 years after the reported incidents. All of this comes on the heels of the Pentagon releasing 3 separate videos showing fighter pilots' encounters with UFOs in April 2020. And, as you may have heard, the Pentagon has a very limited amount of time to declassify everything they have about UFOs. An unveiling due to happen summer of 2021. As of this recording, that's only a couple of months away. So get ready for lots more where these came from. And if Congress isn't ready to release all of that information just yet, there's a team of scientists and researchers who are ready to get on their case if they don't. April 2013, an unidentified object flying at speeds of up to 120 miles per hour is spotted in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. It's believed that the thermal imaging footage was captured by a Homeland Security aircraft, and it's fascinating footage indeed. A lightning-fast aircraft flies across the ocean and then appears to dunk into the water, only to re-emerge a moment later. More compelling still, the object then splits into two, at which point the footage, unfortunately, ends. This awesome video is believed to have come from a U.S. Customs and Border Protection aircraft, and it was leaked to the Scientific Coalition for Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, or SCU for short. The SCU is a team of scientists, engineers, and former military personnel whose goal is to learn as much as possible about UFOs, or UAPs if you prefer, and are ready to hold the government's feet to the fire if necessary. Just recently, the group fired off a letter to the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, urging them to reveal everything they know about these mysterious sightings. 55 members of the SCU, who are all acting anonymously due to privacy concerns, have also offered their services to the investigation of these incidents, the one in Puerto Rico in particular, which they say offers, quote, the most compelling evidence of unusual UAP flight characteristics. In a report on the incident, the SCU said, no bird, no balloon, no aircraft, and no known drones have that capability, in regards to the strange UFO sighting. Or is it UFOs? Going further, the SCU's report says the video, quote, is the best documentation of an unknown aerial and submerged nautical object exhibiting advanced technology that the authors of this report have ever seen. One could argue that, as we get more and more footage of strange, unexplainable objects lighting up the sky, we might sound like a broken record here, but the day the Pentagon releases all of the UFO info can't come soon enough. A famous physicist thinks we'll be meeting these aliens from elsewhere sooner rather than later, but he's not so sure that it's a good thing. Insert collar-tugging gif here. Dr. Michio Kaku is a world-famous physicist, professor, theorist, and television personality, having appeared on dozens of shows where he discusses his theories and views on science, the future, and, of course, aliens. While promoting a new book in the spring of 2021, Kaku naturally found himself discussing the recent spate of declassified UFO videos. Kaku is optimistic that we will indeed discover solid evidence of an extraterrestrial species soon, but is also slightly wary of the ramifications. In an interview with The Guardian, Kaku warned that reaching out to an alien civilization might result in a "be careful what you wish for" scenario. Soon, we'll have the Webb telescope up in orbit and we'll have thousands of planets to look at. And that's why I think the chances are quite high that we may make contact with an alien civilization. There are some colleagues of mine that believe we should reach out to them. I think that's a terrible idea. We all know what happened to Montezuma when he met Cortez in Mexico so many hundreds of years ago. Now, personally, I think that aliens out there would be friendly, but we can't gamble on it. So I think we will make contact, but we should do it very carefully. Do we take the chance that extending an olive branch to another race of beings could result in our destruction? Are we just asking for a "to serve man" twist ending to our world?
It's a cookbook!
Still, Dr. Kaku isn't all that pessimistic on the subject. In another interview, with TMZ of all places, Kaku acknowledges that we're coming very close to confirming once and for all that these otherworldly visitors are out there. Quote, in the past, they couldn't be tested. It was just an eyewitness account. But now we have videotapes from the United States military. Physicists have now analyzed these graphs, frame by frame, and we realize that no known commercial or military vehicle can reproduce the gyrations and the velocity of these objects. On the upside, Kaku maintains that if these beings do exist, we might not have much to fear from them after all. We might not be worthy of destroying. Quote, if they're that advanced that they could reach the Earth from outer space, they're probably thousands of years ahead of us in technology. In which case, we're like squirrels to them. What do we have to offer? Gold? Dr. Kaku thinks that perhaps the aliens who've theoretically been observing us for so long really don't want to get involved with us at all. Quote, if anything, they've been observing us for many years, and if they wanted to make contact, they would have made contact decades ago. Wow, it would be a bummer if aliens came all this way to check us out, and then decided we weren't really worth the visit. on a slightly more amusing note, Kaku has some advice for anyone who ever finds themselves kidnapped by extraterrestrials. Steal something before and or after you've gotten probed. Okay, we're saying probed, not the good doctor. Quote, "For God's sake, steal something," says Kaku. Quote, "An alien chip, an alien paperclip. Steal something. There's no law against stealing from an extraterrestrial civilization. And you'll have bragging rights, something we can test in a laboratory that would end the debate right then and there." Pretty sage advice. Although, if you do find yourself aboard a UFO and they're doing, well, whatever it is they want to do to you, you might not be thinking of stealing an alien paperclip just then. Besides, where would you hide it? That's it for now, folks. The truth is out there, somewhere, and we're going to be keeping an eye on things for all you true believers. And if you have anything to share with us, don't hesitate to send us an email at ufoshow@joeblow.com. We're eager to hear from all our fellow UFO and outer space enthusiasts. Also, please share your thoughts and any cool extraterrestrial news you have in the comments section. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, as we're going to be your one-stop shop for all things alien going forward. Until next month, keep watching the skies.